I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
But yeah.
I-
I'm sorry.
Well, we did have a bathroom break once. We
Mhm.
did have a bathroom break. Shane was the only one so far to take a bathroom break during a podcast. So because we went pretty long in his, so that's why we
Mhm.
had a bathroom break. So,
Not hardcore like me.
no, he had to could hold it, Shane. Come on, get it together. Shane's getting a lot of mentions in this podcast, so it's what it is.
Funny
No.
dude. Check him
No,
out.
we love Shane, man. If you haven't seen his podcast, go back, check it out. Shane's great, fun dude. I know, and Water's in there. Sorry, if I should have brought a second Water.
No,
in.
it's all good.
Or else you'd end up needing another bathroom break if we did.
Yeah.
So before every podcast, I make every single guest an ink blot. I make them their own custom ink blot.
Okay.
So they all get one. It's a little. Everybody gets one different. I don't want to be like recycling ink blots. That's not fair. So this is the ink blot that we made for you. So you can hang on to that, and the viewers can see it up on the screen there. They can get a good look at it. So what do you see in this one?
It looks like kind of like somebody sat. It looks like an ass mark of somebody who has like a lumpy ass. So they just sat there and.
Yeah, that feels like me. And then you get some ball marks.
You know,
there,
it could
yeah.
kind of look like the face of an ant as well, like under a
Oh, yeah.
microscope. Like here's the eye.
It's a buggy kind of face. Yeah.
Here's the pinchers. Here's the eyes and stuff.
Yeah, on the side of the head. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. Something like that. Let's see
Yeah.
it from a different angle.
It's hard to see anything if you flip it up top, but if you flip it over 180 degrees, you can you can see more stuff in it. But
Yeah.
sideways, they don't really.
I'm just getting like ass vibes from. Maybe it's like the view of an ass from the back. Like you got like ass testicules and
Got
like
some balls dangling.
the perineum. I've learned. My
Is
mom's
that the proper name for taint?
Yes, that's
Okay.
taint, gooch, grundle, whatever you want to call it. I know them all. I love them all.
All the words or all taints?
All yes. No man's land. What's that World War I movie about like no man's land? It's like the light that doesn't shine, or it's very applicable to taints. I know that.
That's what the actual movie is. It's like a synonym for it. That's what the whole movie's about.
It's an artistic adaptation or adaptation. Adaptation's not a word. Adaptation of an ass.
Yeah, it's talking. The whole movie's talking about an ass and about it and the parts of it. And
Just use some artistic license. Throw in World War I. That's what my great grandma was running away from.
All the ass references in World War I.
Very tongue in cheek.
If you would have put that in there, you never would have. Oh God.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It took me a second. I'm like, oh no.
Rim shot. Hey.
Oh no. Oh, we're degrading really quick.
Yeah,
here.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh man, but I do like to ask all of our guests, and I've gotten a lot of mixed responses about this. Oh, let me get this off of here, so everybody doesn't have to keep staring at the ant head butt thing. Oh, I guess it's not going away after all. But I ask everybody who comes on, if you could go back to a time or point in your life and live that time, like, not like it doesn't have to be a day, but if you could say there's. Like some people say, oh man, like my freshman year of college, like that, like stuff like that. Is there a point in time that you would want to go back to that you would like want to spend the rest of your time if you could?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like Groundhogs. I'm going to call this Groundhog's Choice. I think is what I'm going to call this one because you can go and Groundhogs yourself in a time and live there and enjoy it.
I'd say well, I moved back and forth when I was little between America and Germany a lot. And the second time I lived in Germany, I lived there for 3 years in a town, in a village in the mountains called Auringen. And I just loved, that was probably my favorite time of my life. It was just like awesome. Like I had my friends who were German and stuff. And it was just like, you could hang out, speak with them, learn the language, and kind of just get by with like body language and stuff. And then I had my friends on like military bases and stuff, and it was a cool mix of people. Just a cool time to be alive. I mean, and it was better than my first time living in Germany because the first time was when I was very young, and I went to a German preschool, and that was terrifying because I didn't speak German at all, and like I was just thrown in there. Literally, my first day of preschool. This is like. My first experience with organized schooling, they were having like I got there and they were having like a summer like celebration day. Literally, I get there, my mom leaves, and there's a courtyard out back. Germany's a lot more liberal with nudity. Everybody gets naked. My first day of organized school, all the kids get naked, and the teachers just start shooting a hose at them. And apparently, it was like their exciting summer. That's my first day of organized schooling. So, like, I get there, I'm standing there just watching this shit go down. Like, I get to school, and they're like, okay, everybody get naked, we're breaking out the hose. Like, I don't speak a lick of German at that point. And like my first day of German preschool, I dressed in a lederhosen because I thought that was gonna make me I thought that was gonna make me blend in.
Oh,
I was
no.
like
apparently what you should have done was gotten rid of your tan lines and you would have been much better off.
But yeah, that was my first day of organized schooling, and like I'm just standing there, a bewildered like 4-year-old in a lederhosen, while everybody is running around me naked. It was a real shit show. And like German, the way the Germans discipline their kids, also like there's a lot of like cautionary tales and stories. So German preschool was terrifying because there's a series of books. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. It's called Der Struwwelpeter, which is like a series of terrifying cautionary tales for German children. Like, for example,
I think that's where most of ours came from.
Yeah.
You know, most of our fairy tales were German fairy tales that have been translated down.
And they've been, like,
watered
made
down,
less
probably.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, Der Struwwelpeter, there's a series of stories. One is, like, a little girl who sucks her thumb, and her mom tells her to stop sucking her thumb, but she doesn't. So a guy with tall stockings and, like, spiky hair comes in and chops off her thumbs. That's how German kids learn not to suck on their thumbs. There's another one where a little girl is told not to play with matches, and she does, and she lights her house on fire, and she dies. And then as just like a sprinkled little detail in later, they're like, and her cats died too.
Oh, we needed that, yeah.
So like German discipline is fear-based, and like then there's the Brothers Grimm, who are terrible.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
Again, you guys can see how great we are with names, so names do real wonders for me, so yeah.
And those are always like, stay out of the woods, I guess. Like, I don't even know what the message of that is. Like, stay out of the woods and like stay away from gingerbread houses, because like I don't know what the message would be.
The woods at night are pretty terrifying. To be fair, if you wander in the woods at night, it's not a great place. I don't know. I guess that message has been driven home.
Yeah. So like, the first time in Germany was terrifying. The second time was just awesome and idyllic. So to answer your question, that is the time that I would live.
And how old were you when you were there the second time?
From age 7 to 11.
Nice. That's a cool place. I mean, I've always wanted to go to Germany. One of my bosses actually has a place in Berlin, and he only goes in the summer because, from what I hear, Berlin is an icebox in the winter.
It's like in line with Canada if you think about it. Okay. So
summers are great. You go there in the summer, it's amazing. But apparently in the winter, it's an icebox. Never go. And that's what he said. He's like, I don't go there. I never see the house during the winter. I just shut it down, and that's it. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a great place. I mean, everything he's told me about, like, you go there, everything's so much cleaner, everything's so much nicer. I'm like, I would love that.
Yeah. Summer is, like, the time to be there, though. That's when all the, like, naked preschool parties are. So, like, yeah.
So in case you were wondering why he saw a butt in that ink blot, folks, I think we just figured it out.
The psychoanalysis is...
Hey, I never said I was a shrink, but these things kind of lead to themselves here in these podcasts. It does tend to let some stuff out.
I'm learning a lot about myself.
More than he probably wants to know.
Yeah, buried those memories deep, deep down.
It's just a weird thing to remember about your first day of preschool. It's like, hey, everybody, we're going to go out and get sprayed with the hose. Take all your clothes off. I'm like...
Like, that set the tone for organized schooling for me. Like, that...
You must have got real fucking upset when you came back here to America. Like, it's like, all right, we're going out for recess, and you're just like, cool, let's get... Oh, we're not doing this? Oh, damn, okay. I miscommunicated. My bad. I'm from Germany. What do you want?
That's what we do.
That's the way we do it. What do you guys do here? You kick a ball around? No, we get naked and get sprayed with a hose. What's wrong with you people?
This is bullshit.
Man, high school would have been a lot better. Would have made high school awesome.
No argument here.
Oh my god, I have got to wrap this up before we go on too long of a tirade about this. So you've got your page, your YouTube page. Again, I'm gonna make sure I get a link from you. We're gonna put that down below.
Appreciate that.
Do you have any social media that you want to be out there that you want to tell people? Any
Sure.
Twitter, anything like that you want?
Yeah, sure. My Twitter is just stupid one-liners. It's at all lowercase I am underscore lowercase a underscore capital PC underscore. So just really easy to remember and stuff.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
all about ease of access for me.
How many followers do you have with a lovely name like that?
730 or something.
Okay, it's not bad. I was gonna say it seems a little difficult to get that one, but I'll try to link to that below too. Anything else on Instagram? Any of that good stuff, or you don't deal with that? Crap?
I don't have Instagram. I need to hop on that wave.
My man, I don't touch it either. I'm not. Yeah, you guys know I don't have it, so I try to use Twitter, and it pretty much just sends out the tweet when I do this. So that's about it.
Instagram, just like from what I've picked up, it just seems like such a humble, braggy thing that people do. I don't know.
Yeah, like look at the thing I made. Like, okay, great. It's yeah, I guess you can.
I hate when it's like if people will just post like a inspirational, poetic message at the bottom, and then it's like cleavage. Like that's the picture.
I'm betting that's probably where those commercials, where they came up with the idea for those bad quote commercials. If you've seen them. There's a new series of commercials going around. People are probably watching them. It's like, oh, this is bad quotes, and it's like somebody just saying the dumbest quotes you can imagine while they're trying to do something to look cool, like at the gym or doing something. And it's so funny because the quotes make no sense, and it's like, oh, these are bad quotes. You want a good quote? Go to I don't know, whatever. It's probably insurance or something like that. And that's what I think of. I'm like, that's probably exactly what Instagram is. It's just a bunch of bullshit quotes. Like, oh man, what was the one that used to get people? It was like, the world would be better without the internet or some dumb thing like that. Quote Abraham Lincoln. Like, just something dumb like that. And people say, oh, it's so inspirational. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
my thing is just, like, if you're going to be a narcissist, be a narcissist. I hate when the people try to, like, mask it and it's stupid. Like, a lot of people post pictures and it'll be like them posing full makeup, whatever, tight clothes, holding a bag of chips, and it'll be like, oh my gosh, I love food. Food is life. Pizza, so relatable. That's me. I'm just an average girl who eats pizza and watches Gossip Girl, but like, I hate that shit. And then there's like, on Twitter, they have these things where it'll be like 401, or no, it'll be like an area code, and then it'll just be like, just like a self-serving post your selfies thing, and people will be like post these 4 like their best selfies that they obviously tried really hard for, and it'll be their caption will be like, "'Cause my friends made me do it," and I'm like, shut the fuck up. Nobody dared you to do that. Just post your selfies and go.
Yeah.
Just don't do that.
The ones where you see somebody taking the picture like this, like it looks like a selfie, or it's like they do the ones where they're asleep on the bed and they take the picture, but there's accidentally a mirror next to them, and they're like, "Oh, Bae took a picture of me," and then you see their reflection, and they're just holding.
I love that shit. I just love that. I live for that kind of stuff. Just like.
That's the people right there. That's exactly the ones. It's those initial photo bombs of either things in pictures or. You know, your mirror, or like the first photo bomb I think I remember was some chick. It was like this picture was all over the internet. This was back in like the early 90s. And this chick's sitting there and she's like, "Oh, take this picture." And I don't know what the picture was. I forget even why. But then there's a tint, like this round cylindrical thing with a pump that was anal lube sitting right on her thing. Right behind her in the picture, and the picture it was like one of the first pictures I remember that went viral because it was so funny. It's like she has no idea that there's this tub of anal lube with a pump handle sitting behind her in the picture, and she's like,
are you familiar with Nathan Fielder from Nathan For You?
No.
It's a Comedy Central show. This guy, he's unbelievably dry humored. Anyway, he posts these pictures on Instagram that'll be like him smiling, and there'll always be like a car mirror or something, and he tries to get behind, and like in the mirror in the back of his car, he'll have like an extremely explicit like pornographic image, and like he'll just be like taking a picture like going for a Sunday walk or whatever,
right?
And like in the background,
Yeah, now I got to check that out. Now
it's a great show. Nathan for You. It's hilarious, but like I love when people get caught in their vanity.
It's the best. Bad photoshops.
Oh, I love those.
They're
too.
good. Yeah, like, oh yeah, look how thin my thighs are, or something like that, and you can see all the wall behind them's bent.
Yeah,
or something like that. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? There's stripes on that wall, and they're all bent in. What the hell's going on here?
But like, I like when people like actually try to be funny on like social media. I don't like when it like the people who are just vain on it. Like, if it's a funny caption, I'll enjoy that and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, one thing I really enjoy is like the yearbook pictures or whatever that people put, like the funny quotes. There's some things like that.
Doing creative ones, that's always cool. Yeah, I think that's all the internet was really invented for. It was supposed to be originally for information, but I don't think it is anymore.
No.
It's porn and funny pictures and videos, and that's it. So that's all it's really grown into. I wonder, see, that's a good question. What is going to be the next logical step of the internet? Because it was, it's videos and social media right now. And that's where it is. Like, it came from different things. Like, the internet used to be like AOL, which was basically websites, and, you'd access information and you'd chat. And that was about it. Then it kind of grew, and you started to have bigger websites, and you started buying stuff, and you could do that online. Now, then it grew into games, and, now it's social media and videos. It's like, but where's going to be the next big thing? Like MySpace, that was it. MySpace was the thing, and now with music and everything, now it's gone. But where do we go? I wonder where we go next. Like that's a good question to wonder. Where's it going to go? Is all that stuff going to go away because it's going to be so saturated with videos?
I wonder. I feel like it's just going to become like a personality replacement for some people. Like, some people are just going to show out and like use like memes and stuff. I hate when people post those, because the comic in me sees a meme and it's just like, wow, this joke has been stolen so many times. You're just doing your personal nuance on a joke. It's not creative, it's not original. So
yeah,
but like a lot of people post those as like a personality supplement, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and the problem is, if you don't post stuff on social media, people forget you exist. Because they start to worry, like, oh, you haven't posted anything in a while. I don't know what happened to you. Yeah, and it's like, he's dead. Like, no, if you don't post anything, people think there's nothing going on, and they don't really keep in touch with you. But you post stuff. I think a lot of people like the likes. People like the attention. It's like a
validation thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I posted this. I got 40 likes. It's like, okay, that's cool. But some, me, it's mostly I'm sharing this. I'm trying to get it out there, and that's about it. It's a little social media, and hopefully, something people will enjoy. So that's all I can do. So I'm trying to fill it. I'm trying to help with all that oversaturation of videos by putting more out there for you guys to watch on a weekly basis.
For the local Philadelphia community, and we're going to grow it and keep going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I hope, man. And I hope the South Jersey comedy community really keeps growing, and I hope it's nice and solid. A lot of the guys we've had on, 4 of the people I've had on went and have their own mic down in Glassboro.
Oh, nice.
They have the Landmark. There you go. I'll give them a plug, too. Since I plugged High Note, I'm plugging you guys down in Landmark. Every first and third Monday of every month, they do a open mic down at Landmark Americana in Glassboro, and it's a great show. It's a lot of the guys you probably know: Rusty, Brittany, Cody, and Jeff. They all run that show. It's a great show. So if you're down in that area watching this and you can't make it up to the tap room on Wednesdays, get down there, check it out. They're a lot of fun. Great guys. So was there anything else you wanted to add? You said no shows, but that's your social media and stuff. So
I wish I was around here more often and not up at school. But
yeah, I hear you.
I missed like just all the mics, and also I missed the Super Bowl. I wish I was here. I was in New England for the Super Bowl.
No, you're okay. You were probably better off.
I wanted to be part of that riot so bad, so bad.
It was amazingly well behaved.
Yeah, I heard there were
way better than I thought.
arrests that I like.
I don't know if there was zero.
Zero.
I think it was 0 major arrests.
Oh, okay.
Like, nobody got arrested for burning down a building, but I'm sure there was slight. But it was pretty tame. Like, it wasn't what we expected. We were like, oh man, Philly's gone. That city's just gone. It's it. It's just going to be scorched wasteland on Monday morning, and it wasn't. It was actually pretty good. I took the day off work the next day because I was way too tired after being up all night partying, but.
I was in the heart of Patriots country for that. It got hairy because like whenever the Patriots win a Super Bowl at my school, they riot, and it's a happy riot, and they like light dumpsters on fire out of joy.
Wait a minute. That's what they say they do around here in Philly, and they call us assholes.
Yeah, so it's there's a double standard there. But when they lose, there's also riots. So like, there's always riots. But after the Eagles won, I was like on above like the moon, and I was so happy. And like they were rioting, and my friend and I, we had gone like I am, as I mentioned earlier, I don't drink really a lot ever. I just started like 3 months ago, and we went. We had this game where we do full shot for every time the opposing team scored a touchdown, and half shot for like a field goal.
I'm surprised you weren't dead.
Yeah, and it was one of the highest scoring Super Bowls ever.
He's been drinking for a month and a half, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play this game in the highest score."
So
oh my God.
I was absolutely gone, and I was super happy. So I just wanted to like run outside after the Eagles won through this riot. So that's what I did. Full Eagles gear, Eagles hat, blasting Meek Mill Dreams and Nightmares on my pocket speaker, and one of my suite mates that I live with had a green lightsaber, so I had that too. So I was just running through the crowds of people chanting "Fuck the Eagles." It got dangerous, like, and people were throwing stuff at me. I was batting it with the lightsaber.
Damn.
So happy. It was beautiful. Like, it was the next best thing to being in Philly, I feel like. But it was such
you took your life in your hands on that one.
I did, but like I was too happy to care. I had a lightsaber. I had a weapon. Yeah.
Well, in that case, who cares? You could have cut a couple Patriots fans in half, and you're good.
Yeah.
So.
They respected the Force, but like it was such a great night.
Yeah, well, it depends on which side of the. I'm sure we could get into a debate about which side of the Force Patriots fans are and Tom Brady, but that's.
I was I was the worst person afterwards. I tweeted so many pictures. Like, there's a bunch of pictures of. There's one of Bill Belichick completely mouth kissing his daughter. I tweeted that a lot just as like a asshole bragging thing that I did. It's after they won the Super Bowl, like just a full-on mouth kiss. There's another one of Tom Brady kissing his dad, and then there was like a thing of Tom Brady kissing his son on the lips. So
is that a thing in New England?
It's weird. Like I don't know. It might have uncovered something, but like I just that was my celebration. I just tweeted out a bunch of those to anybody who would talk shit. So. That was my asshole defense that I did.
That weird stuff seems to find you. You're going to these weird German preschools, and apparently that's all that happens in New England. This is
just dad kissing.
Yeah, if that's your thing, guys, it's where to go. Head up to New England and have fun with that. If that's your bag.
So yeah, there was a lot of that, but that was a great night. Did you do anything for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I was at a party at a friend's house, so we watched the whole thing. We had the little block things going on, picking the prop bets and all that stuff, and just having fun with that, watching the game. And it was maybe about 15 people watching it, and it was just, it was fortunately all the way down in Egg Harbor. So by the time I got all the way back here, most everything had died down, because we were there, we were hanging out, winding down, we're like, oh cool, cleaning up, and then came up here, which is about an hour drive. So it's about an hour drive to get here. And so it was like, okay, cool. The traffic's gone. The drunks have subsided. And I got home, turned on the TV, and apparently Philadelphia was still
Broad Street was
packed. Just... I was like, man, they are still out there. Broad Street, everywhere. Not even just Broad Street. They were showing pictures up in Northeast Philly.
Oh,
everywhere.
Really? That was packed too?
Roosevelt Boulevard, everything was packed. Wow. It didn't matter. It was like all over the place.
Awesome.
Yeah, it didn't matter. There was people in they just took to the streets and just took over the entire city till... I don't even know when. I'm surprised they weren't still there blocking traffic when I went to work in the morning. I'm honestly surprised.
I wonder if the streets were damaged, because I saw a picture, like, I think it was, like, Broad and Sansom Street, like, the intersection there, and, like, things were destroyed. Like, they were tearing down lights and stuff.
I think the lights were principal, because they kept saying, oh, we don't want you climbing the lights, so we're going to put grease on them. And everybody in the town was pretty much like, challenge accepted. And they were like, I'm going to climb this shit. And so they were like, fine. And that's what so they tried to climb the lights, and then they fell over. And yeah.
I wonder if comedy in Philly was affected, because like Sansom Street is like the comedy heart. Like, they got helium, they got a bunch of mics up there. I wonder if like they had to chill for a few days.
It was funny. The mic we were talking about, the one at Landmark, was their first night was the day after.
Oh, okay.
So we were sitting. It was funny because all of our interviews that I did with them was before the Super Bowl happened, so we're like, I'm hoping your mic was good. Everybody that showed up was just like,
just hung over.
they
like
were
destroyed.
done. Yeah, this is 8 o'clock, so they've had almost 24 hours to recover, and they're still done. People on stage just looked beat. The guys that were running were exhausted. It was just, it was funny from my point of view because I'm just like, man, I'm looking at all these people and just watching everybody so beat up, and it was like, yep, comedy got hurt. I will tell you for a fact it got hurt. So it was fun. I mean, the whole area was great, and I think we're still riding it a little bit. I think we're still riding the high, and you go anywhere in this area and you'll see signs on buildings saying this guy's going to be here signing autographs, and it's like you see him all over the place still.
Yeah.
So these guys are still just on autograph tours and going anywhere, and just they're so happy to be part of this. So
I was a little jilted. Like all the Philly fan celebrities that came out of the woodwork. I wasn't sure. I know Bradley Cooper has, I guess, always been an Eagles fan or something, but it's just like a bunch of people just out of the woodwork. I'm like, I don't know about you.
You're not mentioning Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, he
tried
to get up on the stage.
He got a lot of flack for that, and I'm sorry, Kevin Hart. But if you watch my podcast, Kevin Hart, I'm sure he's going to be watching my podcast. But I mean, he took so much heat for that. Watching him just be like, I want to get on the stage, and this bouncer's just like, no. He's just like, no, like just this guy. He's probably 7 foot tall, looking at Kevin Hart, all 5'5", probably going, "You ain't getting on the stage, pal," and just pushing him back. And he's like, "I should get up." Oh, I felt bad a little bit when I heard about it at first, and then when he came out and was like, "Oh man, I fucked up real bad." He's like, "I'm so sorry," and then I was like, "Okay, now it's funny."
Making Philly comics proud.
Is he a Philly boy?
Oh yeah, he's North Philly.
Kidding. I didn't know he grew up around here.
We got him. Who else? I mean, Cosby, but like.
Well, yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Make him proud.
Yeah. Let's leave that out.
I accidentally, when all that was happening, it was my senior year of high school, and we were picking yearbook quotes, and this was a week before it happened, and I was thinking, oh, like who should I pick? I want to pick somebody comedy oriented, also like somebody who's like not dirty, like somebody wholesome or whatever. Right. So I figured Cosby can do no wrong.
No.
Picked him for both my quotes. We got a backup quote that we got to pick too. I picked him and sent that in, and 1 week later the shit broke with like Hannibal Buress outed the whole thing and it exploded. So for my whole senior year of high school, I just knew, oh, this is a time bomb, because they put the quote right next to your picture in the yearbook. So like my yearbook, I have like a Bill Cosby quote that just looks painfully ironic now. Like now,
please tell me what the quote is. You got to tell us now.
It was like, without faith, if you don't have faith, you've already lost your battle, or something. Like something.
Oh man.
Like, I hope people don't look at that like years later and be like, oh, he thought it was funny quoting Bill Cosby or whatever. But no, it was literally 1 week after I submitted my yearbook quote.
Yeah.
That shit came out, so I just knew all year. And, like, my backup quote was by him, too. So, like, I knew that.
Well, what I'm surprised is that they didn't stop it. Even though you submitted it. Like, they could have been like, yo.
That would have been cool of them. Like,
because, like, well, we just got this. Like, he sent this in beforehand, obviously. Like, we can't do this. And then they would have gotten in touch with you, which I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't. Now that you mention it, yeah, you should have done that.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it's not like you were trying to be a smartass.
Yeah.
Especially with what happened with him. It's like, okay, he obviously didn't hear about it or whatever, and it didn't happen yet. So, yeah, that's weird. I'm surprised. So they just let that ride, and now you've got I've
got the yearbook.
That's going to be great to get signed at the reunion.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Hey, man, what was your quote in the yearbook? Oh.
Never mind.
That's nice. Yeah, that's cool, man. Good catching up with you later. Good to see who you look up to.
But yeah, we got.
Everybody's walking around past you like this. Hey, what's going on, man? How you been? No, it's nice seeing you, man. It's cool. Yeah, see you later.
Peace. But yeah, we got Kevin Hart. He's doing a good job repping Philly comedy.
Yeah, he's doing good. I wish he would show up at some of our mics, but I don't think he hangs around in Philly too much anymore.
Yeah. Probably lives in LA or something.
Lucky bastard.
I think he did like a show where he would like go around the country and like pump up local comics and stuff. And I think he did one at like Warm Daddies, which I haven't done, but I think that's somewhere in Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he did it there. So he is like giving back apparently. That's and cool. Stuff. I think earlier on he'd do some stuff at Helium or whatever. But
yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure all those, you know, when they're all starting, they try to go to the places to get. That's what I always wonder. It's like once you get to that point that you start going, like, okay, this is now going to be my job. This is going to be my life. I wonder when do you go, okay, like, I wonder the process at that point, because there's got to be open mics involved, obviously. So when it becomes like, oh, look at this, now everybody knows you, you know, so it's like, even when comics are somewhat well known and they start showing up at open mics to do their stuff, it's got to be weird. Yeah, you know?
I feel like if you're humble enough, you'll still go to them and you'll still improve it. But like some people, I feel like might feel like they're above mics and stuff. Yeah, which is always annoying, especially if the person really isn't that good. So yeah, but I know I think Raven Lounge has a few like big people pop in every once in a while. Oh, okay. They got like Hannibal Buress and Mark Norman who popped in every once in a while. So I guess success for some people doesn't stop them from doing mics, which it shouldn't, because it's a great tool to have and a fun thing to do. Yeah, and I wondered about that because I don't know the process that well. So I mean, I'm the DJ, really. That's what I do. I make the music go up and down by going like this. I slide a thing. That's me. I don't know the comedy process. And to me, I mean, yeah, it is an art form, watching what people can take and hone into something. But then I wonder, like, yeah, you're bigger. So, like, if Kevin Hart rolls into Helium and starts doing, you know, 5 minutes of the crap you usually see at High Note, you know, I'm not saying crap, but just, you know, rough stuff. Like, what's going to happen with that? You know, people are going to be like, oh, what the hell's going on with Kevin Hart? You know, that's what I wonder. Like, when does that line get drawn? You got to be like, okay, I got to trust that certain part. Maybe work it at other at touring shows, but I guess you've got to know at a certain point when you're like, okay. I feel like somebody that good with that big of a name, also people are predisposed to laughing, because like that's a lot of thing with open mics. You have to earn people's trust. Like you don't want them to feel like if they emotionally invest in what you're saying, they want a punchline. So you have to show them like right off the bat with like an opening punch that you're funny, or else they're going to be like, I'm not going to waste my energy listening to you if it's not going to reward me, if like there's no point at the end. Yeah. So like with those people, their name is their voucher. You know, like they're going to be funny, so it's worth expending the energy to listen to them, I feel like. So people are already predisposed to laughter. Yeah, and I guess it would be tougher at a mic, at an open mic, because especially depending on how a day goes, when you have a day that, you know, there's days in open mics where it's just rough. It's rough. It is. It's rough. It doesn't matter who you are. There's just an energy, and it's just... And you can be a great comic, but it's... And it's tough sometimes because the energy's down, and you can bring that, and then you're just going to be eating it. You're just going to be standing up there listening to crickets, and that's it. And that's what makes me wonder. That would be an interesting topic if I ever got to have somebody like that on. God, please. If any of you are watching this, please. There's so many of you out there that I would love to have on here. But, you know, things like that, I think it's got to make it pretty... It's got to be kind of tough, because... But then at that point, you have to be funny. Yeah. That is your livelihood. If doing what you do and enjoying it and having fun and going out, and even if you did a couple shows, you started putting together some, you know, a tight set of 15, 20 minutes, whatever, and doing some shows, making a little money on the weekends, that would be kind of fun. And I think, like, if I was good enough, I would love to do that. But to be at a point where it's like, this is every day now. This is my life. If I stop writing, my mortgage goes away. Yeah. My fridge is empty. You know, and that kind of stuff. I guess it's that fear, and that's probably why I don't own my own business, because it's that kind of fear of like, I could do it, but I'm scared that if I fuck it up, my life goes away. Yeah, and it's scary, I guess. And you know, to the people who do it, props, man. To you guys out there, a lot of you comics who I've had on, Brian Isley. I mean, he's full time. He tours. He does a lot of shows. Dude. Yeah, great guy. Has his album coming out. Probably, if not by now, it has already. So, you know, it's something that mystifies me that they can do that, and they can just say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it all on the line and do it. And I'm sure some people do it way too early. I'm sure there's some guys who aren't funny, and they're like, I'm quitting my job and becoming a comic. Just hopping on the road.
Yeah, I want to know the guy that went to his first open mic, killed for 5 minutes, and at a mic that was really good. There's mics where you can be a shitty comic and you'll get laughs all night.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it's just that kind of night. Everybody's gonna laugh at whatever, and then you're like, oh, this is it. I'm gonna go do a show. I'm gonna get myself booked, and you do, and it's a tragic mistake. So I'm sure there's different ways of that everybody goes, and it's a hell of a business, man. And I props to all you guys that I've had on, and you that do it, because I don't even get on stage. So you guys are something for being able to be up there, man.
It's a balance between confidence and humility, I feel like, because like when you kill, you get confident, but you can't get cocky, or else you're not gonna like progress at all, because you're gonna think I'm the shit, my jokes are perfect, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, it could just be a show where everybody's laughing automatically, and then you hit that one show that's like dead, like you were talking about, and it's
good material.
It's a big thing, a humble pie.
Yeah,
you have to kind of like sift through what's good or not. And that's, I feel like, when you do a lot of growing, like people like you mentioned, Brian Isley, he on a bad night, he's still able to bring back the crowd because he's just good. Like,
yeah, exactly, and which is always great having him at high note. It's almost like, can we just leave you in our back pocket, and if things get a little bit lull, can we push you out then? Because that's a great time to bring him out, because he does. If there's a lull and people start to, because then that can bring the whole room down. Because then if you're not following it up strong, and then it's like, oh man, then another guy, it's hard, and it's.
I always like the people who are super quick. Like Dave Primiano is a good guy for this. He's good, always good with like the one like jab. Like if somebody eats shit or does something wrong on stage beforehand, he always has the good one-liner that can bring a room right back, and it's just like so unexpected and hilarious that like I love it.
He's fun for that. He's between him and Vegas Lancaster, two of the guys
I love Vegas.
They're the quickest guys that I've ever seen on stage. And
Vegas a few weeks ago, I don't know if you remember, he did a whole set where he just like did everybody's bits, but better.
The Vegas recap. Yep, he did it this week.
Oh yeah,
he did it this week. Yeah,
it just I must have missed it. I must have been in the other room.
Might have stepped out. Yeah, he did. He came up and he hosted, and he did his Vegas recap.
I was crying when I heard that the first time.
It is hilarious. So for anybody who doesn't go to High Note, and I don't know why you don't, the gentleman Vegas Lancaster, who was also on this podcast very early, his set sometimes will consist of him going over everybody's set and taking a little tidbit and having fun with it. It's not a roast. I wouldn't call it a roast.
No, it's
because he's not. He's not harsh. You're not going to get mad after he does yours. Like he's going to go, oh, and this is not about you.
Well done. Like
and he really toes the line really nice without being like offensive and being like even if you're an amateur comic and you didn't do well, he's still going to find something in there and have fun with you that you're not going to be like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, he'll pick out like not something bad about your act, just something interesting, and he'll find like the irony in it or something, and it's just a really it's probably the hardest I've laughed with in like the past year was like the first time I saw that. He just hit everybody every nail on the head, and it was like a night where there were like, I think it was like the 5-year anniversry of High Note or whatever.
Oh, you on the 5 years.
Yeah, and there were so many people, and he just went through them and like crushed every single one, and I was crying by the end.
Yeah, I had to get up out of my seat because I had to cross my legs. I had to pee so bad. He almost made me pee my pants. I am not gonna lie, because I'm sitting there in the DJ booth for way too long, sitting there, and because you can't really leave.
You can't leave. They bolted the bathroom. What happened in that bathroom? Like right outside, they bolted it closed and said "danger" on the door. So like, there's a story that has to be there.
We all want to know that, honestly. We didn't get to find that out. I want to know that, because if you are out there and you ever find a bathroom that is bolted shut, like I don't
danger.
Yeah, I don't mean like they had like a little like lock on it.
No,
there was straight up fucking lag bolts into the door. And it said danger something.
Yeah.
You don't go in that ever again. And that was the funny thing is that used to be the good bathroom.
Really?
Because it's slightly higher. So sometimes the plumbing goes a little wrong, which it happens. It's low. Everything's low in that area, that whole Haddonfield and my area too. It's all low. So sometimes the plumbing doesn't want to run. And that's what happens. And so, but that bathroom is up a little bit, so it's a little higher, so it can still go when you flush.
But something terrible happened.
Something terrible happened.
Don't know what.
I've seen out of order signs on bathrooms. Never fucking
Never
danger. I wonder. I hope
there's a story there.
There's not a good one.
No.
I don't know if it's a good one. It might make me lose a little bit of faith in humanity for what happens. I mean, we've all had bathrooms where the mad shitter strikes. I think we've all had that, where somebody shits on the seat or somebody smears something on the wall. We've all had that. But danger is... That's new. If the door's got to be bolted shut and you can't clean that shit up, there's something wrong, man. So we don't know what happened. And it's the high bathroom. So if it happened to that one, it might have happened to the other two.
That's where the Johnson kid died.
It's a tragic story, man. It's so sad. He just flushed too hard.
Died doing what he loved.
Dropping a deuce in a public restroom.
He had low standards for what he loved. That Johnson kid.
I'm so glad that story didn't happen at the High Note open mic. I'm so glad that whatever happened to that bathroom didn't happen the night we were there trying to have an open mic, because we would never live that down.
Speaking of roasting bathrooms, at the Northeast Room Comedy Cabaret, they have the highest fucking urinals in the world. It's ridiculous. Like, you have to stand on your tippy toes to, like, pee in these. It's ridiculous. One time I walked in there, and there was, like, one super tall comic, though. He was just peeing with his arms crossed. Like, super confident. Like, I admire that level of confidence. He was standing there like a guy waiting his turn in a rap battle. He was just like, but, like, just that level of confidence. I don't know what he was doing. I guess just, like, lording the fact that it was the right height for him over the rest of us, but...
Everybody else is standing back trying to angle it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
this dude's like... You don't
right
even know what the fuck I'm about to drop. Like,
this is where he found his confidence that he wanted in comedy. It was that guy. That was the benchmark. You want to be that
someday.
confident.
I want to be tall, urinal confident. But, like, just the gall of the guy. Like, no, I don't need to aim. I'm just crossing my arms, peeing. Like,
well, he couldn't look down on you because that wouldn't be right.
Yeah,
because you don't want to just be like, while you're pissing. You don't want somebody making eye contact while you're taking a piss. That's urinal etiquette for anybody who doesn't know. Don't do that.
Yeah, but he had that rap battle confidence of just, like, standing there posted up. Like, I almost wanted to just, like, be his hype man. It's like, yeah, do that shit. I saw it.
Yeah, you pissing champion.
What? Now it's just like the voiceover things, like with Migos and everything. It would just be like a bird noise and like something. I don't know, like. Just, it would be hard. The analogy's falling apart with pee, but like, I don't know.
Throw the air horn in there.
Yeah, that's the old standby, or like a gun or something, like bop, bop, bop. I don't. It's like nondescript Jamaican yelling. I don't know. I've never seen a rap battle. I saw a dance battle. That was confusing as hell. I saw my first dance. Like,
why was it confusing?
Like, I didn't know what dance moves were like a burn. So, like, there were a bunch of people who were there who I guess were familiar with dance battle scenes, and they were all like, oh, and I didn't know when to go, oh, like, what dance moves were the oh moves. Like, it was basically whenever anybody would do, like, some kind of gun dance, slow down, or, like, crump in somebody's... Like, do you remember crumping?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Not proud. But...
So, I saw a full-on crump contest, and, like, people apparently within the crumping community know when to go, oh, and I just didn't. So, like, at one point, I accidentally went, oh, and nobody else did, and I felt... It's like, yeah, I'm new to the crumping scene.
You gotta get it somehow, man.
It was rough, but, like, whatever.
That feels like me when I went to a wrestling thing. It was like a pro wrestling.
Oh, really?
Like I know they don't say amateur pro wrestling, but a lower,
oxymoron.
Exactly. But a lower tier pro wrestling organization, and I went there, and I didn't know any of the people there. I mean, they wanted you there for the filming and to cheer and be loud, and that was great. But I didn't know. We almost got thrown out of this place because
what did you do?
There was now we didn't get it. Now there was like there's always a heel, and there's the guys that nobody knows. They're just a guy with a generic name that shows up. And then, there's the good guys. Well, there was a match where a heel wrestled one of the generic guys. So, who do you cheer for?
It's just indifference versus hatred.
Well, right. So it's like, so we got yelled at because we're halfway through this taping, and they're like, "Yo, you can't be cheering for this guy. He's just the
they
guy."
were taping. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were like taping it, and they were like, "You guys can't be cheering for this guy because he's just the guy. He's got to lose. You can't." And like, no, but we like this guy. He
won you over.
I'm sure I can say it. It's again, no, it was through Noah. It's Chikara Pro Wrestling, and they're a great organization. They're a lot of fun. If you've never seen them and you like wrestling, go check these guys out. Chikara Wrestling is fun. It's a cool like lucha kind of style to it. So cool. Yeah, so it's really fun, and so that's why you don't know who the guy is. So the guy, Hip Toss Hank was his name, and he's just the generic guy, and he was going to get his butt kicked by a heel, and we were losing our shit for Hip Toss Hank. We were chanting Hip Toss Hank, because that was his move. If he caught you, he'd grab you and then hip toss you under the mat. That was his whole yes. 100 screaming idiots screaming because hip toss, but it was like this mob mentality. Like we had no reason to be cheering for him. He was just the underdog, and we lost our shit. And we were cheering for Hip Toss Hank. We were going yes, and then when Hip Toss Hank lost, we were so furious.
Well, that plays into the heel thing. I mean,
it did, but we were also supposed to cheer for the guy who was known, who was wrestling the nobody, because he was going to win. That's just the way it goes. Right. Hip Toss Hank never wins, and it was like, how do we cheer for the guy who's the bad guy? Half an hour ago, that guy was out here doing something horrible. You're telling us, well, this guy's the heel. You're supposed to boo him. Okay, great. You didn't tell us we weren't supposed to cheer for Hip Toss Hank now. He's the guy. He's the heel. You just said he was the bad guy. I'm not cheering for him.
No, we want indifference. It makes for great television.
Yeah, just
if you could chant in unison, meh, that would be great.
That might have worked, but we didn't know what to do. And we kind of like, yo, you guys can't. That would be a wrestler who's just like, he drops off the top rope, elbow slam, some dude and goes.
His move is the shrug.
That's his name, the shrug.
His move is he gets people on his shoulders and just like.
He's got a lucha mask with 2 eyebrows, just 2 big eyebrows like raised in like.
Whatever.
That would be the best. So Chikara, if you're looking for a good wrestler name or idea, there you go, the Shrug. He's extremely indifferent. That's his thing. I probably couldn't play him. I think I'm a little too old to be wrestling. I'd probably break. So there's a guy. I'm sure you guys have plenty of people you're looking for. Go for it. The Shrug. You can take it.
The trick is to talk him into fighting because like not a lot of things get him riled up. Like he's indifferent on a lot of stuff.
It's perfect though. You always need the hook. You know, you need a reason. So
everybody's got their gimmick.
Yeah, man.
There was one guy who came to a mic like 2 years ago. He was a pro wrestler. He stripped down to just like this glittery Speedo. It was called like Sex Sells or something. And he had a great set. He had like signs and stuff. He was kind of a prop comic, but it was really, really good. Really well done. He had the boots and everything.
Probably helps that he's used to being in front of people.
Yeah, that's true. Just the charisma of a performer.
It does help. You know, when you're the first time out and you've never done anything like that, I'm sure it helps to get you comfortable with doing that. They say you're not supposed to wear shorts on stage, so they don't say anything about glittery Speedos.
Exactly. So he found that loophole. But you're absolutely right. Like you have to be like a good performer. Like I don't really watch pro wrestling or anything ever, but I saw a promo for like Ronda Rousey is now a WWE person, and she didn't really know how to ham it up or play it up on stage. It was so like it was kind of a bummer. I mean, obviously she could murder all the people there, but like she wasn't good at talking about it, so it was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, and that's what most of their stuff is. Most of WWE is a lot of the presence and the talk and the feel, and it is. I mean, yeah, it's a great performance. These guys do amazing work with both the wrestling and
and
that's
they're athletes and performers.
Yeah, and it's amazing. But if you don't have the other half of it to be able to be like, all the guys I saw in Chikara were great. You know, we didn't see a lot of the cut promos at that point in time. They were filming most of the wrestling stuff, but a lot of the guys are. They do, they're up there and they're saying stuff, they're doing stuff, they have an act, and they have personas that they do, and you can see it if you check out their site. You can see like, hey, this is what they do, and they've got a lot of cool characters too. Their characters are really weird. They had some cops.
Oh, really?
Like they had a pair of cops that were a tag team duo, which was cool, and they had their dog, this little it's not like a Yorkie, it's a corgi.
corgi.
It
Okay.
was like a big corgi, and I think it was corgi with something else because he was a bit bigger.
Oh, was it a guy dressed as it?
No,
or-
it was a corgi.
Oh, okay.
They had a corgi, and he
Yes.
was, and it was so funny because, and I felt so bad. I got to talk to one of the guys about this because they were going to film the thing where, they welcomed the two wrestlers out, and then the dog comes out, Officer Magnum, and that's his name. It was, I know, it's fantastic, and they were like, okay, and then Officer Magnum's going to come out, and then they were like, okay, and then Officer Magnum, and they tell the dog, they send the dog out, and everybody in the place goes, oh, and then they freak out and scare the shit out of the dog. We all just reacted because it was the cutest dog. He's adorable. And if you go to the site, there's probably a picture of Officer Magnum on there. He's the cutest corgi mix of something.
That's great.
And I felt bad. I'm like, oh, we reacted because we loved him, but we scared the poor thing. And it was like, and he backpedaled back a little bit. And we're like, oh
No.
He's like, oh no.
My apologies, officer.
And he was such a sweetheart little dog. But it's such a cool thing and for wrestling. And I think I liked it because I liked the taping because it was the athleticism. I don't really watch WWE because it's like, okay, I get it. I know it is athletic. It is fun to watch for that. Like if you're going to sit with your buddies, drink, and watch like the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. Okay, I can get that. I don't know the stories. I don't know who's who. But I'll watch the athleticism.
Yeah.
That's amazing to me. The shit these guys can do and not die.
Yeah, like they don't get hurt. Like, and it's like a team effort almost, like because they have to work together to not kill each other.
Yeah, to really not actually die. Like I know, it looks like they got hurt, but it's amazing. Like they take some abuse. I get it. It is hard on the body, but the stuff that they do is just. And if you see it close up, if you ever get a chance to see a close up, even like an amateur or like a lower tier professional wrestling match, go see it because you are up close. You can see what these guys do, and you can really feel what they put into it, and it's worth it, man. It's awesome.
I'll have to check that out then.
It is, yeah. Chikara's local. They're up in the Northeast.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. They have a studio there. So check them out. Check them out, people. They're great. They deserve all the help that they can get. I mean, go check them out. They have a great site. They have a lot of shows. They put shows out all the time. They have live filmings. They go to live events, and they're fun. So if you like wrestling, it's cool because I can't even imagine what it costs to get a ticket to something at like the Wells Fargo Center.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's got to be a big number. Like it's like, oh yeah, we're going to WrestleMania. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna pay my mortgage instead. you go right on ahead. They're probably like $200-300 a seat.
Yeah, probably. They came to my school for like whatever, like the WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble or whatever, and like it was so expensive. Like it was like $200-300 a seat. It was crazy. They also hiked up the price because Rob Gronkowski was also wrestling.
Oh,
that guy would be perfect for it.
He's got the build for it.
Yeah,
and he does have the personality.
Yeah.
I never thought that. Well, he's probably gonna have a career afterwards.
Yeah, I mean,
when football's done, he's probably got a couple years left.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not saying anything good about New England. I know it's mostly all Philly fans around here that listen to this. So
yeah,
don't get on me. Don't get on me. Rob Gronkowski's a cool guy. He's all right. I'm still a fan of J.J. Watt, though. He's my biggest on my list right now because of what he did when that hurricane hit in Houston. That
cool.
was, all the support that he got, all the money he raised. It
was over like $3 million, right?
I think it was even bigger than that, to be honest with you. It was a big number. It might be 3, it might be higher. It's a it's a really large number for a lot of people do. Oh yeah, they're gonna donate a check for $10,000 to help out. It's like you look at this, and he got all these people to donate. That was just incredible. I mean. A lot of support from everybody else, from all the football fans out there. If you donated, if you're watching this, thank you, because that's amazing that you helped out. But all the help that he droned up, that's more than just saying I'm going to donate a little check. Yeah, that's something. He really
put in the effort and stuff.
Yeah, put in the time, put in the effort. I mean, these sports guys, I feel like they have so much more they can give, putting their face out there and being able to say, hey. Go behind a cause. Get out there and do stuff. Don't just try to tell me what's right and wrong. I don't like that. No, you don't know what you're talking about. You got your degree from whatever university because they gave it to you, so you could go to the pros. Don't tell me you know anything about it, but please do something for the cause. Get behind it. Be like, hey, we should raise money. I'm J.J. Watt. Okay, I like J.J. Watt. I should give that some money, and that's what it does.
Like their name and their face and reputation have value in themselves.
Yeah, just like you said before. Being a comic and having that value. When you go out there, even comics that should be doing that. Don't go out and make a stand. Just try to make a
hate
difference.
that.
Yeah.
I hate when, like, especially like the condescending talking. I hate when it's actors and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I never watch the award shows because it's just like they it's just they speak down to people. It's super annoying. Whatever.
Yeah. Use that, please. If you're a big actor and you're watching this, I know you're not, but whatever. I can dream. If you're watching this,
Suck it, Meryl Streep.
Yeah, and if
Too preachy.
Yeah. Really, I mean, go out and do something big. Go use that presence and make it known. Raise money for a cause. Do something big. Make a difference. Don't just try to tell me what I should and shouldn't do.
Suck it, Meryl. All right, I shouldn't.
I hope Meryl Streep doesn't do the podcast. I hope she does, but now I hope she doesn't.
I'm playing the podcast heel.
I don't know if she's going to hang in this long. If she gets into my podcast, that'd be great. But
and if you watch this long, unsuck it. You earned it.
Yeah, thanks, Meryl Streep, for hanging in for this whole podcast. But we should wrap it up. For all the people out there who have been hanging on, I'm probably going to split this into 2 parts.
Okay.
So, yeah, because we've been
Thank
going
you
an
for
hour
watching.
and 57. Yeah.
Oh, have we really?
Yep.
Wow.
So,
Damn. That flew.
See, well, that's what I'm glad that a lot of the people who do this have said that. Like, even though I've gone a 2-hour podcast, they're like, "Oh shit," and I feel like it's not like we're pushing for talking. I don't want to do that and like push people to sit here and talk. And if it gets awkward, and it's like, oh, okay, don't want to, then it feels bad. Yeah, we got to like, okay, we'll wrap it up. But if we can talk and we can talk about stuff, it's great. So it's 2 hours. I'll split it down like I've done with a lot of them, and we get a couple good podcasts out of it. So
nice.
But make sure you check out him. He shows up at High Note. Check out his extremely cryptic Twitter and follow him there. So I can't even remember it. I think it was IM_, or was it the underscore in the beginning?
PC at lowercase IM _, lowercase a _ PC _.
See, you gotta add the underscore.
That's what
at the
sets
end.
me apart.
Lots of underscores. It sets you really apart. So check him out on.
Really annoying, hard place to find.
So check him out on Twitter. Check him out at High Note when he comes back for the summer, when we try to drag him back out.
Oh, I'm gonna be there every week.
I know, we got to get you. Well, I mean, I know you're on break, but once you're back from school, we'll get you out here and hopefully.
Summer, doing 5-6 nights a week. Hopefully, some shows. We'll see.
Yeah. And I'll make sure and stay in touch with me. I'll make sure we can plug them. Try to get them out here on this page. So I'm trying to do that for the guys. So anybody who's doing shows, let me know. I'll plug them. I'll try to put them out here. And now we have the Patreon for this page. I've got a Patreon page.
What is a Patreon?
Patreon is like a like you can help out like a YouTube channel or somebody who's doing something like that. You can pay on there, and they have like incentives. So like I have like $1 incentive and a $5 incentive. So if you pay like $1 a month or $5 a month, so like for the $5 incentive, if you stay a donor, I will make you a pen. I will make you one of my hand-turned pens.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'll even do a video for you that I'll upload for you that you can have, and the making of the pens. So if
you just make them from scratch?
I make them from wood.
So
I
cool.
turn them down in my basement. Actually, and I just toothed the mic. That's real good. I do have one right over here in case you've never seen my work. I'm going to reach off camera because this is extremely professional. But I do pens like this. This is
that's
one of the ones I do. That so that one is actually for when I reach 100 subscribers. I'm giving that one away to a subscriber.
How long do these take to make?
I can do one in about an hour.
Oh wow,
maybe a little bit less. Yeah, they're good, sturdy pens.
Yeah,
they work.
People at home, this is a substantial piece of writing wear.
And that's the mid-range pen. I do have slightly bigger, or slightly smaller pens for whoever's there. But like I said, if
don't
you
need to compensate.
Yeah, no, it's believe it or not, it's not the size of the person that depends on the pen. My wife is 5 foot tall on a good day, and uses a pen that's bigger than that. You would think, oh, she has small hands, but she likes the way the pen feels because it's bigger and it almost writes itself. It just does all the writing on its own, and so she likes that about it. And so pens are. But these are totally refillable. They use great refills. As that one's actually made of Bethlehem olive wood, which is a very nice grain wood. I kind of like it.
By far my favorite type of wood.
Bethlehem olive?
Yes.
You've actually used it before?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
But it looks good here.
It is. It's nice. It's a really nice tight grain, and it's got such cool look to it. This isn't one of my best pieces of wood because you almost can't tell. The neat part about doing a pen is when you have a piece of wood and then you turn it down into a round thing, the grain is going to change from where it started till it becomes round. So it's kind of a mystery that ends up happening, and you kind of uncover it as you go, and it's really it's fun, and I love doing it. And
how long have you been doing it for?
A couple years, about 5 years. I've been turning pens. I used to do shows and stuff, but it's hard to make money doing it. It just kills your weekends. You're out doing shows. I mean, I can make some money, but the problem is, in order to make money, you've really got to jack up the price of the pens.
True.
And I didn't want to do that because I wanted people to own the pens. And like normally, this pen would be between $30 $35. And it's reasonable because the pen, it's a nice twist. It refills, so you'll have it for a lifetime. It's not like I'm saying, here's a pen, it's going to have one refill and then it dies. That's it. No, that's a big pen. That's why you get it for a quarter. But you get a good pen like this, and I always felt bad. Like, there's so many people who make money making these pens, and they make really elaborate pens, but they're also $200 or $300. Now, like, even this pen, like, yeah, it's nice. It's a good writing implement, but I'd want more people to have it for that price. And I think that would be more fair to say that that's a reasonable price for a pen, $30 to $35. It's a nice pen. It's sturdy. It's going to last a long time, and I think that's fair. But doing that, I also can't make a ton of money unless I sell a lot of pens. So going to a show that costs me $300 for the table.
Oh, so you got to turn a lot of pens.
I got to sell.
Profit.
Yeah, I got to sell 10 pens just to break even. So things like that. Unless you do really well, it's going to be tough. And a lot of shows don't have electric. So some shows you go to, you just show up and you just put your stuff out. What I do is I actually take a mini lathe that's about this big, and I'll turn while I'm there. I'll actually have blanks already set to go, so the piece that sits here in the middle, and I'll turn that part, and then finish up and do a pen and have it presented and say, here, and I would draw a crowd. Yeah, and that's what started selling. That's what started selling pens for me. But
yeah, that's bring people in. That's so cool.
Yeah, so when you see a pen sitting here, you look at it and you go, okay, cool. That's what you see, and nobody knows what goes into that. It's just a pen.
But if you see somebody actually making it, that's
and that's what worked. But not a lot of shows have electric, or not a lot of shows want you doing that at the show.
Really? I feel like that would just be in their best interest to have like as much of a draw as possible.
Yeah, I thought so, but it was hard. It was hard finding shows, and like I said, it ate my weekends. I didn't have a lot of free time, and online's hard because there's way too much competition, and people that are milling them out. They really jack the price down, so it's like I can't sell them for something to make money.
Right.
Between parts and everything else, I'm not getting them at a bulk rate. I don't have a business, so I just get them. I get a few at a time, and I make one, and I'm like, hey, cool, pen. So, and that's so I usually use them mostly for friends and stuff who are interested. But if you're a Patreon subscriber, patreon.com/inyourheadcast, head there, pay the $5 a month. I will send you some stickers as well, and I will work with you. I will get in touch with you to make you a custom pen, either in this style, Gatsby style. We have our slimline styles that I make, which are a little thinner.
This one's slim thick.
It is, actually. And then there's the really big Big Ben cigar pen, which is
thick.
It is thick, yeah.
2 C's.
Some like them thick. Some like them thick, and that is thick. It's a heavy pen. You could bludgeon and or stab somebody with one of those.
It's a police pen.
Yeah, so subscribe. Subscribe, go donate, anything. Help me out. It helps me bring better stuff for you guys. It helps me get more equipment, better microphones, better cameras. Right now I'm using a webcam. So it helps me bring better stuff to you guys so I can get everything good out to you and get better podcasts. And who knows, reach out and get better guests. Nothing against Paul. But I got it. No, I got it. No. I've been dipping in the high note well because everybody that I've talked to is just from high note. So I'm trying to get better guests and get more people from broader range outside of high note. Yeah, so mostly it's all high note people. So I'm trying to broaden it out and get. I guess I should say get a wider variety of guests, not better guests. That's not the right terms. But yeah, I want to get more people. So help with the Patreon, help me get stuff like that, and hopefully I can bring more to you guys. And as always, Paul, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having me.
This is a blast.
Do you have any official sign off thing that you do?
I do. I like to tell everybody something at the end, but as starting of now and the last episode, I just like to tell everybody, never buy an umbrella. Take care.